Hey guys, it's Cyrus of Chaos. I'm here with Luca Fioretto, and today we're going to be watching the final between Szilagyi Aron from Hungary and Sanguk from South Korea in the finals of the Budapest World Cup from a couple of weeks ago.
Hi, everybody.
Before we start, we're going to set this bout up a little bit. These two have fenced each other 9 times, and the first time they ever fenced 0-1, and then they've basically just gone back and forth until this bout. It's like the definition of a back and forth rivalry. And
yeah, it's a really good rivalry. I'm looking forward for the Olympics with this rivalry.
Yeah, I'm hoping they fence each other again as well. And the cool thing about the way these guys fence is that the bouts are all totally different. Like, sometimes it's extremely close. Sometimes murders Szilagyi. Sometimes Szilagyi destroys O. Like, there's no predicting it. So it's...
Yeah, exactly. Because maybe they started both so good and they came up with good counters for each other's.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the other time, the other fencer find a good key to the match. So it completely destroyed the other.
Yeah.
Both fencers have the skills to actually destroy you with really few movements, just by maybe making good feint, adjusting the preparation time. So they really give good bouts whenever defense.
Definitely. What do you think are some of the main differences between these two?
Yeah, the difference is, I think, enormous. We can say that they are two opposite poles. Since Szilagyi has a really technical style of fencing, so he's really precise with his preparation, with his time, the distance that he uses both in attack and defense. While Ho, being also younger, he's more instinctive. He relies a lot on his physical abilities. And during all the competition, he was like also a monster in defense, Ho. And in the last meter, he was like getting everybody fall short.
Yeah. He's just so athletic, and people tend to get scared at that point. So he really preys on that.
Exactly.
And on that note, we're going to start.
Here we go. This is the one for the money.
Yeah.
And a challenge.
So
The first matches are really just starting each other, testing the ground. They don't really know exactly what to expect from one another. I think that they know what the other usually do, but they actually don't know if they came up with a new trick or something like that.
Yeah, totally. What do you think of this? What do you think of the action here?
Yeah.
The one for the money.
Like, from a referee standpoint, I would have given a simultaneous.
The one for the money.
But from a technical point, I think for both fencers is a great way to start, since they are not rushing the middle, and they're not leaving the middle. So they're like doing a great prep, and they are ready for an attack on preparation or getting away from a long attack.
Mm.
And both, they also found the time to make a reprise.
Yeah. I personally would have given this to O here because I thought his feet started first, but I don't think it's smart to challenge this call, because until you know the way the referee is calling things, and you obviously don't when the score is 0-0, it doesn't seem wise to use one of your only two, like potentially risk using one of your only 2 videos for the whole match when the score is 0-0.
The first point is you have to be 100% sure.
Yeah.
Point will be good.
Something else I'd also like to point out, which has nothing to do with the fencing, is that a lot of people commented to me that the FIE did a much better job of not missing the beginning of touches with the replays, and there's actually a very specific reason for that. If you look at the scoreboard, do you see right above the word Hungary that little red dot? that little red
Yeah.
dot means that a replay is going on and the referee should not start the bout yet. And the referees were much better about using that little red dot. And because of that,
Yeah,
almost
that's great touch.
yeah, it was a really good idea. The fencers sometimes have to wait a little bit, but we don't miss any actions ever, which is really nice. So, little side note.
Yeah.
Thought that Szilagyi had pulled his arm back. Attacking
Yeah.
the right. Yeah, well,
It's a bit of a lucky touch, but I think that we can see how the time of the preparation of Szilagyi is like perfect. He got Ho in the right position to make him fall short and get the parry. Then Ho was really good at counter parrying, but this is a whole another story.
Yeah.
Szilagyi had pulled his arm back.
Something else I've noticed about O is that it seems like his first intention is to always attack people. Like some people would much rather pull you short, but O always wants to make an attack.
Watch this, watch you.
I think that he is like really keen on attacking because he knows that he is both fast and really long with his attacks. So
Yes, he's so tall.
barely risk an attack on preparation, and he can easily get himself a longer launch to finish his duck.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this way of thinking actually is a really good point for Szilagyi, since his great form, his great style of technical fencing gives him the opportunity to make a great preparation to get to an impression of a long attack, and O will fall short in the middle a lot of times in this bout.
Something else I want to point out here is that my personal philosophy on defense is that the first thing that you want to try to do is pull them a bunch of times and kind of create the feeling in the other person that you want to make them chase you. And that can set up a lot of counterattacks later in the bout because they feel like they really have to push and risk something in order to attack you. And here you can see O does that really, really well. When he's going backwards, he's always the first one to exit distance, and like right there you could see it. Let me show it again. Right there you could see it. O is the one who's moving out before Szilagyi starts accelerating. And he does it a couple of times. So every time Szilagyi tries to attack him, he knows he really has to stretch or add a bunch of extra steps to hit O on that point.
Yeah, I think that also the whole body of O is helping me out, since he's really tall, really long, so he can easily get his blade out for a counter attack, and with his long legs he can also retreat really easily.
Mm-hmm.
So he has more opportunity and more margin of error in this kind of defense.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. And here you can see that in this clip, O actually starts accelerating forward before Szilagyi starts accelerating backwards. You can see right here, he's already accelerating, and Szilagyi's like 1/2 tempo late or something. Whew.
Yeah. I think that
Szilagyi acknowledged attack. No, I heard blade contact, so it could have been parried as well. But whatever happened, Szilagyi didn't hit on his action, and O did.
He didn't wait long enough on his preparation, since he could have, since O fall short for 2 touches, one after another. So Szilagyi had a great idea of doing an attack on prep, because maybe O could have take the attack, could have taken a long attack with a big risk, and maybe for Szilagyi doing a slower preparation with a little stop could have created the perfect trap for O. So O would see Szilagyi that stops for a defense, and then Szilagyi lounges in the attack on prep.
Yeah.
Szilagyi acknowledged. Attack, no. I heard blade contact, so it could have been parried as well. But whatever happened, Szilagyi didn't hit it on his action, and O did.
That was called attack. No, that seems like a pretty harsh call. I thought that was pretty smooth.
Yeah, that was like a
whoops.
little lucky. It didn't seem like Szilagyi was committing on the parry.
Good pull by Aron.
Yeah. Here again.
That was a beauty by Szilagyi.
Yeah, but I mean, he really had to launch himself there,
And he did.
And that time you see
surprisingly,
Szilagyi starts accelerating before O does, and it makes a big
was
difference
unable
on that
to
touch.
avoid it.
He looked like he got surprised. He didn't retreat.
Yeah.
Szilagyi with a beautiful attack. O went for the parry, the head parry, but it got through.
On surprise. You don't want to give any signal of your attack starting. So, like, accelerating too early can cause really big trouble.
Nice from Aron Szilagyi.
That was an interesting action. I love this attempted pull by O. Looked like he got him on the wrist or something.
Probably. He usually does this
Here he comes.
perfectly.
Yeah, I call this move the reverse frog.
So O has to have built
The reverse frog.
here. He's too close to Szilagyi.
And
Yeah.
these two have so much respect for each other. You'll often see them like apologize for things they get which are kind of janky or something.
The piece with his big long attack.
Yeah, they don't try to overwhelm the attitude, but just with their fencing.
Yeah, good fencing.
Szilagyi on the left.
Yeah, in this moment, Ho changed a little bit of his style
When he pushes on the attack,
because
Szilagyi is
in
complete.
10 points, he falls short like 5. So now he's not committing any direct attack and he's starting prepping for a defense or an reprise attack.
Of the game.
Yeah, completely shut him down.
Here it comes.
There's the reprise.
Here he goes with the attack.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
And Szilagyi almost. And Szilagyi has completely
So, like,
evaded that part
he
of the
does
game.
Yeah, completely
the stop
shut him down.
Comes.
and then he gets
Here he goes with
the
the attack.
reprise. Now, Szilagyi is
Szilagyi
not
almost
like
has
an
a
easy
lateral move
target
that makes
on
the
defense.
opponent
So
miss or something.
No, he is not.
Let's see. Oh.
That's actually almost exactly the same touch that he lost in the finals of Team World Championships on. Except
Yeah,
this time
but-
he got the counterattack. Oh, why did you finish there?
yeah, that's the problem because with Ho you don't know whenever you will counter and whenever you will pull you short.
Yeah. So there's something else that happened here in the beginning of the touch that I want to talk about. So in the past season, and actually maybe even like 2 seasons past at this point, when both fencers stop and they start again, the referee will pretty much always give it to the person who starts first with their feet. And it can be a confusing situation for the fencers because it can look very obvious from the side, but not feel obvious in the center. So the person who goes faster will get the touch most of the time, and the person who isn't faster doesn't necessarily feel like it's against them. And I personally think that when there's a situation when one person has to go really fast, it is a good opportunity to do actions. Although in this situation, which I'm calling the second zone, I don't see a lot of people doing actions, but Szilagyi just did one here. So he did the in and out, and then O started very quickly, and Szilagyi took a 2 parry, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like a great way of throwing off your opponent since nowadays fencing is more keen on like a great physicality
Yeah.
and how you get the attack. So you throw off your opponent by leaving him the piste, and he will probably fall short because he's too committed on his attack.
Yeah. So look at this. O feels like he can start first because O feels like he can get this touch because he started first, and Szilagyi moves in slightly late, but then instead of finishing, he takes a parry.
Beautiful. By Szilagyi.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. I think that's really cool. That area could be developed a lot more than just people going really fast at each other.
Yeah, but the problem is that you need really good technique and really good tempo.
Oh yeah, it's not easy, but I do think that that's an area that
Right there.
could be developed much more than it is.
I expect to see more of that in the second half of this bout.
That was also a really nice attack.
Turned on the afterburners and is in defense.
Oh, speaking of janky stuff, he'll get an apology for this as well.
What is
Are
happening?
you okay?
That's
Sorry.
Really
A
not
little hard blade contact.
good. It really hurts your wrist so much.
Yeah,
We go to the 1 minute.
that's why I hold my saber low.
Jeff, and I have to say
Yeah.
that Szilagyi
So much respect.
in
So
This is like one of the only times that they will actually take a simultaneous attack,
demonstrating why he's got 2 Olympic gold medals.
not like trying to commit any parry or preparation for one attack or attack on prep.
Which we've seen in previous bouts.
So what do you think that O should be doing differently going into the next half of the bout?
That he is set
I think that actually what he's doing right now is the right way of doing it, of changing the match. He's getting like not really lucky. Every time he commits too hard in the middle, he will get parried or he will fall short.
but age and experience.
So as we saw before, he can just take a good prep for a reprise attack or a defense in the middle.
Right. So you
Yeah,
don't
correct.
so you don't necessarily think that his strategy is bad. It's just not playing out very well.
Yeah, exactly. We witnessed one great counter attack from Szilagyi, and that like you can only shake his hand. Then in the middle, unlucky, just goofy touch.
Yeah, a little bit.
Simultaneous no touch.
Yeah,
Back
that's
touche.
Nice attack. Right
Long
in the
attack.
middle there. He didn't need his long distance there. He just needed his quickness, and he used it. Did O. He's still holding that wrist on the last action before the break. He got clobbered.
yeah,
That was nice. The same preparation you were talking about.
So we've seen 2 in a row.
exactly. He's not like doing a big stop in the middle,
Quick attacks in the
but
He's so fast.
we can with this also slow replay, we can see that he sees Szilagyi going back, and he gets the upper hand with the attack.
Yeah, he's kind of trying to time his preparation for the moment that he thinks right after the moment that he thinks Szilagyi will
Not
stop.
pushing him all the way down. Oh, just quick attack.
And as soon as he settles, he's just all over him.
2
Yeah.
in a row. Three in a row. In the middle.
And then once you get this, you can start playing with the actions and mixing in all kind of different action like this attack on prep.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the Koreans are always ready for an attack on prep
Yes, they are.
because they're really fast.
In 3 or 4 seconds, and it's 8-8. Make that 4.
Well,
That almost looked like a lazy action from Szilagyi there.
4
Yeah,
matches in a row,
he
pretty much in
just
the box.
like didn't even committed on the parry, just choose
As we said,
a target
it's a matter
on
of
his
seconds.
body and parry there.
Touches in
Yeah.
3 or 4 seconds, and it's 8-8. Make that 4.
well. Szilagyi is getting.
And you don't usually see that from him. Usually
4
he
matches in a row, pretty
uses
much
his
in
legs
the
a lot
box.
more than that.
The middle of the piece, that 4-meter zone, the on guard.
Yeah, maybe he was like just thinking too much about the action to do and he stopped in the middle.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's watch. Watch on the right. O makes the attack. Looks like just a.
This touch is like a lot controversial, I think, with refereeing.
I agree.
So they've each
It used to be, a long time ago, they used to call this, I mean, maybe not even that long ago, they used to call it attack no extremely consistently. And then more recently, it's been a little bit less consistent, I feel.
Yeah, they want you to actually repeat the attack the exact moment the other goes for a parry, and you need to commit the attack going forward and not by just standing in your position.
Right. It's not called like attack no unless you are going right in at the moment of the blade search. That's what I've noticed.
video replay challenge remaining. And O's on a 5-0 run.
See, they're waiting for the light. So it doesn't always work, but at least we're not missing touches anymore.
Yeah, exactly. They need to synchronize it better with the broadcast.
Yeah. So on this one, O may have... Go ahead.
Yeah, because Szilagyi went back too many times, and maybe Szilagyi was caught in the middle a lot of times. So maybe Ho was thinking of long defense by Szilagyi, like the one we saw at the beginning of the match, when actually Szilagyi committed too early his attack on prep. But now he waited the right moment to start his lunge.
And since the break, David, every action has been in the middle of the piece in the box. Neither fencer has retreated.
That's an interesting observation by the commentators.
Yeah, I don't hear them actually.
Oh, that's fine. He said that since the break happened, neither person has tried to go. Like the whole bout has been fenced in the box.
Yeah.
Another thing here where
And even more specifically than that, almost every action is just O attacking Szilagyi. But
yeah, mainly it's kind of fancy. He wants to get you on the attack.
yeah. And I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's gotten, what was it, the score 8-5 before? I mean, he's won 6 of the 7 touches so far doing that. And
Yeah,
there's been
and
one
he
simul.
didn't change it out his prep. He's just mixing in sometimes some direct attack and attack on prep to not give any kind of information to Szilagyi.
Mm-hmm. But no, go ahead.
He's just thinking about not committing too early and unconditionally his attack.
Yeah, and he hasn't been going for pulls at all since the break. No pulls, no parries, just attacking.
Yeah.
Szilagyi went on his run.
There, finally, he actually is able to stop that attack.
And really broke things out.
Wow.
That was really close also for a parry.
Yeah, it was.
But nice long attack from Szilagyi, pushing him, not forcing in the last quarter of the piece and finishing it at the middle.
Yeah, and something else I want to point out is this the feeling I was saying before of making the person want to chase you. So you'll see on this defense, O will again go out early, and Szilagyi will have to take like a couple big steps to close the distance, and he does that right there. But if you keep forcing your opponent to have to do that, it creates a lot of opportunities to counterattack them.
Yeah, it's just too late at that moment to create something maybe.
Right, but I think O is okay with that. Like he knows that most of the time his opponents won't be able to hit him in that situation. And if he loses those touches, then that's okay because he's gotten a couple already doing that, and then later it'll set up those counterattacks.
Yeah, usually when you go in the defense, especially in Saber, you know that getting the point will be
A bonus.
an hard fought battle.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
I think he's wanted a couple of situations here where his thinking isn't.
I don't know what the referee called here, but I think it's attack no from Szilagyi and reprise from.
I think he got the blade actually.
I got the blade. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Yeah, then.
That's the one disadvantage of watching on mute.
That's the long attack we talked
Yeah,
about.
exactly.
He can't
But now
defend against that.
Ho
He's
goes
too
back with
long.
his preparation,
Watch this.
waiting
Oh.
for the attack.
Here's the attack, and the two-time defending Olympic champion.
That was
had
so
no defense
close.
for it.
The replay really shows you like how
Just too
close
long.
that was.
Watch this. Here's the attack.
Damn.
Yeah,
And the two-time
just
defending
pinching him
Olympic champion had no defense
on
for
the
it.
body.
It's 12-11. Szilagyi has really not retreated much this bout. He's tried to negate that attack.
All right, he
I
got hit
would
on the
say
wrist
that
or something, so now there's a little injury break.
Success.
Or maybe he's just fixing his shoe, I don't know.
See, O turned it around here with the long arm, was able to.
Yeah,
He
Probably
picked up the tempo
his
after the break.
shoelaces.
That was the big change. Referee Fioretto says simultaneous. They both start at the same time.
Nice parry.
Yeah, that was really nice.
And Szilagyi, who's known for his riposte game. Let's watch attack from the right. Let's watch attack from the right, which is going to be parried. Parry riposte. We really haven't seen much of
That was
this.
very nice.
Just-
And that's really
Yeah,
the
he just
strong
gets
part
the
of
right
game.
distance and the right time every time.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that was nice too.
The reverse frog.
The reverse
Szilagyi
frog.
tried to attack O in the open part of the piece, and with O pulling distance like that, he was able to get out of trouble and just hit Szilagyi at will.
Ooh. And there's the chasing thing that I was talking about again.
Well,
He
Yeah,
was able to get out of trouble and just
he's like, but he's getting chased, but he's not committing a counter attack because he's too lean back.
Yes. But going forward, I mean, it's getting late in the bout, but you could anticipate that will happen and be like a little more ready for it. Like this. Look at the huge risk Szilagyi has to take in order to attack O there.
and then he gets hit. When you go
Yeah.
back into that zone there, you really.
But I think that
you have to guess
in this kind of situation, getting out a counter attack is really hard because he's too lean back,
between Aron Szilagyi,
and getting out the hand is really complicated.
Mm.
between Aron Szilagyi and O Sanguk.
What do you think of the idea of calling halt for that?
And Szilagyi slipped.
And the,
I would really be pissed off if I was Ho because Szilagyi has already fallen short.
Yeah.
I would. I think that Ho could have got it anyway.
Slipped.
So,
the
like,
referee calls
yeah,
it.
I know he has one knee on the ground, so you go out, but
In many cases, you want to give the opponent the
I would not be happy,
their new action.
certainly.
But clearly, he felt that Szilagyi was.
Yeah, he was in control.
He was. So the referee made the right call there.
But yeah, in this time at this time in the bout is really hard. You can get 1 point away from winning.
Yeah.
Slipped. You know, I know that we're
Yeah,
only
it's a crazy time for that to
a matter
happen.
of moments away from the end of this match, but okay. Could use a good mopping.
Ooh, that was actually another second zone action.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Yeah,
Nice
from
attack by
Ho,
Szilagyi.
but he barely missed the repulse. I think it was like
Takes
release.
the
I don't know.
risk and who will
I
get
wonder
the
if we'll see
reward.
that in slow-mo. Does not look like we're going to, so let's try watching that again.
Could use a good mopping.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess it just went through on the first one. That was a good idea.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Nice attack by
maybe
Szilagyi.
using a little bit more of distance.
14.
So we saw earlier that when Szilagyi actually performed a nice parry in the second zone, as you say, he moved back
Yep.
with parry. Like, or you go really early on your parry and you close the distance, or if you're going with a right time parry, you need to
Doesn't get any better than this.
get away
Attack by Szilagyi.
from your opponent.
14.
Yep.
Who takes the risk and who will get the reward?
Remember that
Ooh.
Yeah, that will be given simultaneous, I think.
Yes, it will be. I thought that was more O's attack.
Yeah,
But
probably.
I understand not wanting to end a final on such an anticlimactic touch.
Yeah, but I actually don't agree on this because if it is my point, even if it is in the middle, I will want it anyway.
I agree with you also. I mean, if there's an action that happens at 0-0 or 5-5 or 14-14, it's still an action that you have to call.
Yeah, exactly.
And I really admire O that he just asked the question, put his mask back on, and just got ready again. Like, he has such a great...
If you get frustrated with the referee in this
Exactly.
moment, it's not going to help you anyway.
Of course not. But that said, many people still do get very frustrated. But what can you do? You get on guard, you fence another touch.
Those of you who remember.
And hey, look at this. Remember I said that push would create opportunities for counterattacks?
Yeah, but this time, in fact, he was really
Much more on balance.
Forward with his body while
Yes.
going back with his legs. So he had the right balance to get out his end.
Yes. But this was created by those other touches where he made Szilagyi feel like he needed to chase him. Like when you need to take huge steps like this.
Yeah.
And he's still almost finished with that attack, with that counterattack.
Yeah, I think that also he really benefited from not trying any counterattack in the match. This is like the first counterattack tried by O.
Yep.
And it wins him the match.
Yeah. Because he didn't need to before.
It's like picking out aces from his list.
Mm.
You don't show him the trick.
Aron Szilagyi in the ninth and final leg.
That was a very good bout.
It was almost a complete
Yeah.
repeat.
Like, I'm looking so forward to the Olympics.
20,000
And I hope there will be this bout.
Me too. Yeah, this will be O's first Olympics and Szilagyi's 4th.
Fourth,
The
yeah.
attack and preparation, and then
Yeah, Szilagyi is going for back to back to back.
Back to back to back. I think he is something like 10-1 at the 3 Olympic Games he's been to, and the only person he's ever lost to is Keith Smart.
At the beginning, it might be his turn.
Yeah.
And as it was, but we were
He is
not-
like a monster at the Olympics.
Yeah, and we'll see how well O does at his first one. So, anything else you want to say about the bout?
Nah, I think that the bout spoke for itself.
So
It
true.
was really smooth. We saw change of tactic during the match, but they were really clear. There was no like any kind of confusion from both fencer. Like they got 2 touches against. They go okay. Now it's time to change
Yep.
without thinking too much about it.
Yeah.
So like I fall short too much in the middle. Okay, I will start my preparation slower and I will get the attack in that way.
Yeah, there also wasn't too much like fighting with the referee, which is it always makes the fencing nicer when there's no like theatrics or dramatics, you know.
Yeah, when there is no drama.
But yeah, it's always good to see these guys fence, and I am also really looking forward to hopefully seeing them fence at the Olympics. So anyway, Luca, thank you so much.